The clothing and textile industry is changing, and this is great news for Amazon business owners, especially if you are into apparel and textile. As a manufacturer, these manufacturers are popping up across the Western Hemisphere, including places like Mexico, Nicaragua, Guatemala, and even the United States. The Sourcing Journal just announced that Made in America may have a chance against sourcing apparel and clothing from Asia. Tucked away in the state of Louisiana, startup Vidalia Mills stands as one of the few US-based companies that manufacture premium denim. The iconic brand Wrangler actually took notice and wants to partner up with them. Now, in the first 4 months of 2019, denim imports countries buying denim from the Western Hemisphere went up 13.41%, reaching a value of $323.68 million. This is a market share increase of 8.17%. Asian production giants like Vietnam, Bangladesh, Pakistan have been dominating this market for decades. Well, hello Mexico, Nicaragua, Guatemala, and now perhaps the United States, where the turnover time is faster, the tariff fees are lower, and the quality is highly competitive. And guess what? Levi Strauss & Company agrees. So why are Amazon sellers and business owners in the clothing and textile industry defaulting to China when they can be sourcing from highly competitive countries that are in the Western Hemisphere? Countries that don't carry the made in China stigma. Now, nothing against China, but when something says made in the US, people trust it more. In fact, if you get that on your product, even Apple understands this. They have designed in California, even though it was put together in China. That builds the trust. And when it says manufactured in Guatemala, it can create an almost exotic experience or idea. Let's just say you go to Amazon, you buy a product, I'm sure you bought one on Amazon before, and you open it up and you notice it says made in the US. What does that make you feel? How do you feel about that? What about when you go to an Amazon listing or even an e-commerce listing and it says made in the US? What does that do with your trust for that product? 99 times out of 100, the person will buy it sooner and pay more just because it has that tag. Now, don't get any crazy ideas. It is actually illegal to say made in the US if it wasn't, and you could lose your importing rights. So you have to say made in China if it was made in China. You have to say made in South Korea if it was made in South Korea. But if you can consider the advantage of removing the tariff fee, or at least reducing it, of not having to worry about custom duties that are so complicated when importing from Asia to the Western Hemisphere, and in fact, you can more easily drive or fly to that manufacturer if they are on this side of the world, this is going to give you a great advantage. Let me tell you one quick example of this from the other side of the world. One of our Just One Dime students, who does several million a month, launched his brand doing cleaning products. Cleaning products you can pick up and, yes, you can squirt them in your mouth, swallow them, and they won't hurt you. The same thing used to clean the toilet, you can drink it like water or lemonade. How did he do it? He's sourcing from the United Kingdom where he lives, and people in Europe love this. So because he built a brand around it, he's able to charge more, and because it says that, people love it, they'll pay more, and his business is flourishing. Do not feel like you always have to go to China to source. There are more options. In fact, with the new tariff laws, these options are becoming more favorable at a very fast rate. The future is changing fast. The future is now. For the longest time, we considered China as the one place to source. That's changing. People are going to India. People are going to Pakistan. People are going to Mexico. People are going to Brazil, Guatemala, all these other places to source. In fact, they're finding that some countries are better, for example, the Philippines manufacturing rubber, are better at doing certain products than other countries, for example, India with medicine. So don't feel like China has to have everything. You have an opportunity to differentiate yourself, which means you have more leverage. It's scary, yes. You're trying to figure it out more, yes, absolutely, I get that. That's why we have a team who teaches students how to source and the principles of sourcing, which you can apply literally anywhere on the planet. If you're an entrepreneur, here's what a smart entrepreneur would do. Don't give up on Alibaba. In fact, Alibaba gives you sourcing options for countries around the entire globe. So when you are looking at a product that you want to source, find out which country is best at sourcing that kind of product. You can do this really fast. If you search the keyword on Alibaba and you don't filter out the countries, find out which countries are producing that product and have imported it into the US more than others. You'll be surprised. Sometimes it'll be Guatemala. Sometimes it'll be Pakistan. Sometimes Mexico, who are better at importing certain products into the US and have more experience than China. And what's going to happen is, just like studying different products, you're going to start to associate certain product types with certain countries. Just like there's different provinces in China that are better at manufacturing different kinds of goods, it is also true of countries. And I'm excited because denim is starting to pick up in the US. Do not run your business on default. Just because everyone else has been doing it this way does not mean you should be too. In fact, it often means you should be going the opposite direction. I am currently in discussion with a clothing manufacturer in Los Angeles for not one, but 3 upcoming clothing brands. And guess what we're doing? We're going head to head with China. We have a plan to implement. Now, just try this. Go to Amazon and search this, summer dresses on Amazon. And I want you to look at the prices. $25, $27, $23. The battle is seriously brutal, but the tides are changing and you better be changing with it. That's my 10 cents.